Yo, what's popping, man? This AI war, all the things we're hearing about AI right now is kind of crazy. I haven't done videos in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I've been just living my life, shit. So, but I want to get back into the groove. So we're gonna start today by checking out some news about Deepseek. Deepseek. You know, if you guys don't know what's going on in the AI world, all the stock market, everything kind of went crazy, specifically around Nvidia. In the last couple of days, a lot of people have been just selling their stocks left and right. Luckily for me, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of got out of I got out of my Nvidia because I just came back from I traveled. And but right before I traveled, I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm very happy with my Nvidia pullout. Um, I'm actually a bit disappointed because I sold a little quicker than I would like to. You know what I'm saying, with someone, but I'm happy with what I got, with where I was at, my position and everything. Where I'm cool. You know what I'm saying. So matter of fact, now would be a good time for me to probably get back in and buy more. Which I am, because I still believe in Nvidia, despite everything that's been going on right now. It doesn't make sense for a lot of people to be selling just because they heard about DeepSeek. And give it some time, man. You don't know, like, does DeepSeek have it? DeepSeek does not have enough capital, in my opinion, to be able to sustain, right? Well, I mean, they might now. If people are investing into them, they might now, right? But Nvidia's is sitting on way too much cash at hand to be low for too long. You feel me? So let's just, anyway, I saw this clip and I was like, damn, DeepSeek came out and then now there's another one. If more and more of these companies keep coming out, and if the spec sheets keep damn near, hitting on par with Nvidia stuff, and or if not even more, everything I've been saying about Nvidia, it might be a problem, bruh. Like, that's crazy. So let's check what this guy has to say. He found something interesting, and I thought we should check it out together.
Can someone ask China to take a break, because we already have got a new model?
Damn, China going crazy 2025, bro. I'm telling you, bro. China
From a very big research unit.
Damn, nigga, you know what I'm saying? The TikTok shit, the what's the other AI app? That's the app. There's this red. It's a red logo. There's this app that's from China right now, which is like the TikTok killer that everybody's talking about. I can't remember the name right now, but damn, China going ham in 2025, bro.
Which is part of Alibaba. This is not the DeepSeek R1 kind of a model, not a thinking or reasoning model. This is the normal LLM that you have got. This is not, already have got a new model from a very big research unit, Qwen, which is part of Alibaba. This is not the
part of Alibaba, which means which means they most likely have capital. They have money to sustain production. Interesting.
Deepseek R1 kind of a model, not a thinking or reasoning model. This is the normal LLM that you have got, except there is a difference in the architecture of how dense transformers are and how this model, which uses mixture of experts. In this video, I'm going to show you everything that I know about this particular model and then how you can access this model. My only gripe is that there is no information about this model becoming open in the future or currently. I hope this is a genuine mistake. Otherwise, this might set a wrong precedence, because you can release a lot of models, get a good PR, and then never release the open flagship model. This is what exactly happened with companies like Mistral, Stable Diffusion, and I hope this is not how the direction that we are moving into. But keeping that aside for now, we have Qwen2.5 Max. This is a brand new model that was released a few hours back. In fact, the person who released it said that there is fireworks happening outside celebrating Chinese New Year, and I'm actually writing this tweet releasing this particular model. The way you can access this model right now is using their own platform called Qwen2.5, which I will quickly show you how to use it. And then you have got API access, which is also within their own platform. And then they have given a demo on Hugging Face, which is also connected to their own API, not an open model anywhere. So now what is this Qwen2.5 Max model? This is a model that is based on an exploration or research, according to them, to see how much they can scale mixture of experts model.
Okay.
For those who are completely new to this universe, we have got transformers, which uses a technique called attention, and this transformer has got the lot of parameters in it. And at some point, people realized that as you pump in more data, more compute, increase the size of the model. So more compute, more data, increase the size of the model would naturally have better accuracy or better performance. That is what they're saying, that the data size and model size can lead to significant improvement in model intelligence. And this is something that I think back in the day, Elias Sutskever and a bunch of others pioneered. And one of the biggest things I think OpenAI proved the world is that this is completely possible. Now, they want to do the same thing with mixture of experts model. In transformers, you have like two big categories, I would say. One is like the dense model, so where you've got like the neural networks that are dense. The second one is a mixture of expert model, where every token every word that goes into it goes to at least like 2 tokens, 3 token, 4 token. I'm sorry, every token goes into like 2 exports, 3 exports, 4 exports, and this is how the mixture of exports model work. So even though you have got a lot of parameters, not all parameters are active for every single token, and this is one of the reasons why it is easier to deploy mixture of exports model, and a lot of advantages are there. So now what Qwen team has done is that they have done created Qwen2.5 Max. This is a large scale MOE, mixture of exports model. So again, very surprisingly, they have not disclosed what is the size of the model. There is no information about model parameters. Rather, they said this has been trained over 20 trillion tokens. This is trained over 20 trillion tokens. I mean, I still remember like probably 7-8 months back when we first got a model that was trained on 1 trillion data. There was like a huge news, and this is like 20 trillion tokens.
So
and
this is
after
like
that, there was like post training with
they're on 10x
and RLHF reinforcement learning with human feedback, and they have just released the benchmarks. In terms of benchmarks, there are 2 kinds of benchmarks. One is the instruct model, the fine tune model. The second one is the base
insanity.
Model. For those who are new, a base model is the first model that comes out of the model training process, which is ideally supposed to fill in the next word. It's just like
that's crazy
or predict the next word. An instruction fine tune model is a model that is fine-tuned for it to answer questions that human ask. Like for example, in a base model, you can go say, write a joke about Elon Musk, and you put a colon, and then it will just like maybe fill in the next line. But what you can do with an instruction fine-tune model is you can go and ask a question, can you write a joke about Elon Musk, and then it can answer you. What is the capital of India? It can answer you. So but in the first one, you would say the capital of India is, and then it would fill in as New Delhi. So this is how you would prompt these 2 models. So this is the benchmark for the base model, and this is the benchmark for instruction fine-tune model. And as you can see here, Qwen2.5 Max compared with Deepseek V3, which itself is like a very huge and one of the leading industry open models. Llama 3.5 405 billion parameter instruction model, GPT-4o, and Claude 3.5 Sonnet. So we've got all these 5
Damn, it's crazy how GPT-4o that was just like the biggest thing at one point in time, to the point where they literally they did the best they could do to get some money out of people with that, bruh. Because if you think about it, like with the way the GPT 4.0 was the bubble, like the at the peak, the way everybody was talking about it, they did the right thing to capitalize and make some money. Because with the way, look at the chart, with the way these other companies are coming out, bro, what's the point of paying? Like, granted, GPT, because of the infrastructure, because of the amount of investments that they have, the amount of the engineers that they have, you know, they've created but like they have apps inside the program already. So that's something that even if another company came out, you still really can't compete with ChatGPT, because to compete with ChatGPT, you would have to, like, you need a lot more bread. Now, to do the basic functions and stuff like that, that's where you might have to compete, which is honestly what everybody should focus on, because obviously, how many people are actually paying for the pro version of ChatGPT? They're just using it to, you know, most people still use the basic version. So if you can get pro version effects, on a free platform, I mean, you can answer the rest of the question. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Models, and you can see on a lot of these really good quality benchmarks without a lot of, let's say, benchmark leakage or a pollution. So this model is doing good. Arena Hard, this is 89.4, which is much better than Claude 3.5 Sonnet. In terms of coding, live code bench, this is almost on par with Claude 3.5 Sonnet. In terms of MMLU Pro, this is slightly one level below GPT-4o and Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And
trying to catch your breath because I see you hopping between softwares
that's
all day
crazy,
instead of using
bro.
Connect Team, the all-in-one platform to manage.
In terms of live bench, this is once again much better than Claude 3.5 Sonnet. In terms of the base model, the model is stunningly better than every other model in this particular case. Qwen2.5 72 billion parameter model, Deepseek V3 model, and Llama 3.5 405 billion parameter model. What does it mean? It means if you were to use this model for any fine-tuning purpose, whether it is style, whether it is a particular domain, whether it is like coding, then most likely the fine-tuned version of this model would do better than any other existing model. Like I said, even though we don't have any information about whether this model will become open or not. And there are like other information that they've given how you can access the API. Like I said, there's no information about whether this model will be open or not. So if you were to use the model, you can go use Qwen Chat. Just remember, like, I mean, there has been a lot of discussion around China and your data being stored in China. If you are going to use this, it's highly likely that it is going to be stored in Alibaba server, which is in China. With that information, I mean, I don't do it for American companies. Maybe I should start doing it for American companies. But just information that you should know. So I'm going to ask very simple, but it's highly most likely the fine-tuned version of this model would do better than any other existing model. Like I said, even though we don't have any information about whether this model will become open or not. And there are like other information that they've given how you can access the API. Like I said, there's no information about whether this model will be open or not. So if you were to use the model, you can go use Qwen Chat. Just remember, like, I mean, there has been a lot of discussion around China and your data being stored in China. If you are going to use this, it's highly likely that it is going to be stored in Alibaba server, which is in China. With that information, I mean, I don't do it for American companies. Maybe I should start doing it for American companies. But just information that you should know. So I'm going to like ask very simple questions that we are kind of used to asking at this point. The way you can use this is you can go here, click here, and then select Qwen2.5 Max model. We don't have information about what is the size, the context window, no information. We just have to go chat at this point. It's got a feature called artifacts, which is like Claude artifact, where you can ask something and it will also render and then give it to you. Okay. So I'm going to just go ahead and then ask a very simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript page. So I want a simple landing page inspired by shared CN UI, and this is for a company that I'm starting, a little coder labs, which can help you set up AI in your own company. That's it. I'm not going to give a lot of information, and let's see how it is going to do. So right now there's no HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and this is kind of like every company's dream at this point, Lovable, Data Button, and tons of other companies trying to do the same thing, where you can go design your first landing page using this kind of software. Now we are seeing if we can do this with Qwen2.5 Max model. And another reason I'm asking this question is because I find this to be good with coding in terms of benchmarks. So I think this is like a natural direction for us to understand if this is good with coding, which is what Plot 3.5 Sonnet still like the best performance there. So the thing has been done here. You can see the artifacts is done. Okay, we have got a very basic, slightly too basic, I would say. And this is the website that we have got. Am I impressed? I wouldn't say if I'm necessarily impressed with this particular design here. Maybe, did I say simple? Yeah, I said simple. The design is too boring. Can you make it beautiful? Something like framer and some animation and stuff. Okay. I think for a very large mixture of expert model, the fact that this can load at this particular speed is quite impressive. This is one thing that I've been wondering about the Deepseek R1 model as well. It's not just that they built the model. It is also a matter of fact that they've deployed the model and able to serve at scale, while Claude servers are, like Claude is always sending this message that Claude is busy and all those things. So it's pretty interesting to see what is happening there. And yeah, so we have to now just wait for it to load completely. I think after I appreciated about the speed, it looks like the speed has gone down a little bit, and the artifact is done. Now let's see. Okay, this is good. Maybe my prompting was not like great. So wow, this is good. We have got some animations here and there. We have got like a gradient-based landing page, which is like at this point the default of internet AI consulting, custom solutions, seamless integration. Good, very good. So I'm going to go ahead ask a different question. Now again, by default it changes to 2.5 plus. Change it to max. I'm going to say, can you help me create a Flappy Bird game in Python? Make sure you don't use any images. I just want to copy and paste the code and run it. Okay, so once again, a very simple one. Should be easy for this system, but I want to make sure that if we take the code, put it in our Python environment, can it run zero shot, like without making any changes? This is one thing that I've been interested in checking with these agents, because when you tell anybody that they can use computers for coding, sometimes it's very hard. Okay, it's using cursors. Stop it. Please use Pygame. I should have said this before, maybe. Okay, it's changing it, a simple implementation it's saying. Okay, so instead of cursors, it's using Pygame, because I've got Pygame already installed, so I don't have to install a new library. But again, so as you can see here, it is giving me the instruction how to do it. So I was saying that I want to check these systems to run code zero shot. I might actually put together a different tutorial, because this is one thing that you should understand, that very critical for building any code editor agentic system, because you don't want to sit and debug these codes for a very long time. You just want them to use, otherwise it's fairly easier for you to copy code from Stack Overflow or somewhere and then paste it here. I think since the moment I appreciated the speed of it, it is kind of slow, or maybe like people in America like figured out that there is one more Chinese model. I'm going to just copy the code. It gives me instruction how to run this. I'm not going to, okay, we have controls as well. Press spacebar to make it. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Visual Studio Code. Okay, and I'm going to create a new file and paste it and save it as a Python file. I'm going to say Flappy Bird, and I'm going to just run it. Oh, sorry. Is this code getting updated? Oh, man.
Wow.
Okay, there was some error when I hit it. Let me run this again. Please don't. Oh, I'm bad with this game. But also when it hit the pipe, it kind of threw an error, which shouldn't have happened in that case. So I'm not going to test further. I'm going to leave it to you if you want to test it. Not a lot of information. I was quite excited about this model, but it is also kind of frustrating without knowing is this model closed model, open model, if there's any plan for open. I'm not saying every company should open the model, but if somebody has established themselves as a flag bearer of open source, which they did not claim themselves, which we believe, it should continue, and that is what I believe. Let's see what is going to happen. I'm definitely looking forward for a technical report and if the model will be open or not. But for now, you can go enjoy the new 2.5x model, which also proves the point that mixture of expert models can be scaled, and there could be an interesting future in deep learning. See you in the video. Happy prompting.
Yo, that's incredible, man. I think that's very, it's a big deal, man. This AI stuff is, if you're not in tune with AI right now, you unfortunately, you might be running, even if you don't do anything with AI, it's very important to just understand what's happening in the space. Just put yourself in the know, because when it comes to investing in things like that, This is the future. This is now. Matter of fact, if you start tomorrow, you might be behind. You know, so I still feel like the Deepseek is probably the reason I'm a fan of the Deepseek. The fact that it's open source, this fact that because when something is open source, it leaves a lot of room for so much improvements, because sometimes a lot of people think that the people who work for all these companies are some of the smartest people. A lot of the smartest people in the world, coders, and you don't even know who they are. They're literally just like you and I, randomly somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Timbuktu, chilling, doing their thing on the computer online from wherever cave they might be in. You know what I'm saying? So like, to have something that's open sourced and something that everybody loves, making it open source is great because it just allows a lot of people to come together and make it even better, faster too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just what I think, man. I'm excited for. I haven't personally used any of these. I haven't used it in a while. I've been, just like I said, just living my life. But I plan to definitely check these out. So you guys, let me know what y'all think. What do you think about this company? Qwen2.5 Max. Have you used it? Do you know about it? You know, are you going to utilize it? I'm pretty sure because ChatGPT is the most popular. That's the one most people are going to go and utilize. I feel like to step away from ChatGPT, you'll have to almost have a very seamless platform, kind of like how Deepseek did it. They have the app, they have the web, everything's good. It's like full-fledged version. It's ready. That's why Nvidia's stocks were kind of going crazy. So they did a lot of work. It's gonna be hard to compete with that, man. Those are some intelligent people over there. Shit.